I'm Tom. I'm responsible for all the paid media channels at Rewe Group. And my team is looking to make sure that we have standards implemented for all the placements and also looking into new opportunities in terms of systems. And as we know, data is getting more important. We are also looking into the infrastructure, and I would like to give you more details about that today. But if you think about Rewe, it looks very lovely. I know it's nearly 100 years ago when we started as a small business, and as you can imagine, back then it was quite easy. It was users came into the store and was a sales merchant inside and was asking you, "Oh, hey, Mr. Blumenberg, how was your weekend? Did you enjoy the Sunday roast? Do you need some more meat and some more potatoes for upcoming weekend?" So it was already very natural to have a personalized experience in the past. But as you can imagine, nowadays it's more difficult to connect to consumers on a personal level. So the human asset is missing nowadays. So we need technology, and technology is important, and this is how we are doing it. And it is really also good to see that personalization is quite important. Because of a Deloitte study, it says that more than 80% of people are interested in personalized communication, and even 70% of them is willing to give away the information if they get cashbacks or coupons in return. And if you think about how you can leverage this information nowadays, we have a good starting point at Rewe, I would say, because we have nearly 30 million customers every week. In stores and also in e-commerce, so we have a good baseline. We have more than 3,000 markets, so you have a good accessibility, so you can reach out to people and you can connect to them. And as we also know, the individual needs are more broad than ever, so you also need more products to offer, particularly in a plant-based segment. And we are also always looking to give you the best shopping experience. And to have the best shopping experience, it's also good to use digital touch points. For example, the one scan and the click and collect, which you can use with our app. And this offer is also giving us the opportunity to use digital also to connect or give us another data point. So if we are having the data point, as mentioned, we have seen it as a good option and opportunity to go into a more personal communication. So if you want to do a more personal communication, you of course need data, and to make sure it's very privacy driven, we also need the consent to make sure it's in the data regulation consent. And as you also imagine, there are different kind of touch points which you need to connect. This is also part of the CDP to make sure you get a holistic customer view. And a couple of years ago, actually, we started with a project together with Google to think about how we can get into the data segment and make sure that we get the best ecosystem possible in the market. And this is how we continue to go to the different kind of steps and levels we achieved. So if you think about a CDP, what's the major idea behind it? It's to get the behavior data and to make sure that you connect it on the different kind of touch points. You need to process it, so you need to build like a profile to connect it in one place. And this is where the CDP is like the main heart, I would say, which is giving you the best chance to get most of it. And in the end, you need to activate it, because it doesn't make sense to have it just in one place. We want to connect with you as people, and therefore you need to have the activation phase. And this is also where we added Zeotap on top of it to make sure that we get the right profiles of the people and the information, and make sure that we get it activated in the right channel. And I would just like to ask you a few questions. So if you're willing to participate, then it's good. If not, you don't have to. So who of you is doing grocery shopping every week? That's great, because we're all hungry, so we need to buy food. Then, how many people of you don't eat meat? So, it's getting fewer. How many of you who don't eat meat are vegans? One in the back. Wow, that's not very representative, but it's very nice. I can't hear you, but I would ask you if you give me your name. Oh, I go to you. Oh, you gone. Leah. So Leah is our only vegan people. It's very sorry. What's your favorite vegan food? It's just a random, like almond milk or something like that. Broccoli. That's what we all love broccoli, right? Especially nowadays. So you see what I just did is I'm collecting data. So first I ask you all, can I ask you a question? So I got your consent because you participated. So I got a random idea about who's eating meat, who doesn't eat meat. And I like Leah because she's vegan and she likes broccoli. So I collected data, and this is actually an easy case how we do it also today. So first of all, because of data privacy reasons, we first always need to collect the consent. And then we have the different data collection points. So with over 30 million customers out there, we have a lot of people who go to our website or using the app, using the e-com, the newsletter, or also doing an offline purchase. And as Leah, for example, is subscribing our newsletter, she is already interested in recipes which are vegan and mostly about broccoli. And so we need to make sure that we connect the different touch points because we don't want to address her again with the broccoli offer if she already read our newsletter and comes on our website, or she even got an advertisement. So whenever it is possible to not address Leah because she already had a contact with us, it's good for us because we can reach out to other people who might be also interested in broccoli or some other vegan plant-based food. So this is actually the idea, that you collect data on our own touch points and make sure that you collect the different kind of information. So the next part is, if you collected all the data from the different touch points, you need to build like a profile. So the profile always is connected to an ID, and it can be via your email address or your telephone number. So we make sure that we connect all of your information in one point to make sure that you giving us the information which is required for our best activation of you. So the activity could be like you have visited our website, you used one of our app coupons, you clicked in the newsletter, or you even bought broccoli or whatever you are interested in. So we collected the data, we built it in one profile. So next up is the activation. And this is probably most of the interesting part, at least for me, from a paid media side, because we want to make it more efficient. So as you can see on the right side, we already had the opportunity to have a lot of social platforms activated already. We have a DSP, we have Google with the ads, we have the newsletter, and we have even push notification. And this also, thanks to the help of Zeotap, it's becoming more easy and more quickly to activate more channels into our ecosystem. We're actually working on an ATV case, so even new channels are coming in very soon. So this is like the whole ecosystem, as I mentioned, and now we come to the use cases. So whenever you come to the activation phase, you have different kind of options. First, you have the exclusion. So this is, like I mentioned with Leah, she already got a contact, so we don't need to contact her again. So it's exclusion of users. On the other side, you have the inclusion, so you use the data. So if you use the data, it's all about increasing relevancy, and on the other hand, also the efficiency. So there are different kind of setups we are using and looking into. So first of all, it's the lookalike. If you think about lookalike, we look for people who are very comparable to each other and build like customer segments. The retargeting phase is all about activation of known users with a more individual communication. Then on the on-site and in-app, we are using personalized banner to make sure you get the right product and the right interest. And the prediction is also quite interesting, especially if you think about e-commerce, because if you have individualized offers with more incentive customers, you can find out how much is the value of a customer. Should I give him like a 5% discount or a 10% discount? So it's very good to optimize also in this case. And I would like to dig into two of these cases which are the most relevant for us. So as mentioned, the exclusion of the owned media contacts is very important for us, because if you had a contact with our ad or with our own website, we of course don't want to address you again, or even if you bought with us again. Because we have so many people who are buying and we want to address every week because of our weekly offer communication. So whenever we find out that you had a contact with our web, your newsletter or e-commerce, we can exclude you from our campaign. So in the end, we can gain more reach in a more efficient way. And this is also last year when we started with the first activation channels. We even had the a six-figure euro amount of monetization potential, which we could save or at least reinvest because we are addressing other people because they are already got a good contact with what we had in place before. On the other hand, it's the lookalike targeting. So as mentioned, we are looking for people with similar behaviors. In the e-commerce section, we are looking into our top A clients, which have purchased in our e-shop the last 3 months. And now we are looking into other peoples who are comparable to them and make sure that we address them on our activation channels. And even here we see a 24% cost per visit reduction. So you can see we directly measure the impact of using data for our activation. And if I'm not only talking about the paid media activation, we are also seeing 2 more other opportunities within the CDP and all the data topics. Because first of all, if we have all the data in one place, we have a good opportunity to create media reportings and media analysis. If you think about a media planning, for example, you're always looking to get the best reach, and in terms, it's better to have the net reach. And if we can connect the points of the different touch points, we're able to find out who and how many people can we actually get with our activation process. And on the other hand, is also gaining success to think about monetization, because it's data collection, other things also costs, of course, a lot of money. So we also have a good opportunity with retail media because we have an on-site monetization tool. And if you think about it, that we collect different kind of stages of people and user behavior in terms of food, you can also address them with our retail media partners. So we make it available also to our partners in the industry. And we have more than 100 audience segments which are now available. And this is giving you the great opportunity, for example, directly target the plant-based users, the vegan users, or whatever you think about. And in a recent study we also see that if you target particular on-site on a specific audience, you can increase by 2.4 times the likelihood of a purchase. So we're even helping our industry partners to reach their goals. So as you can see, we have lots of things we can use out of this case. And I'm looking forward to hear more about the retail media part also from Jessica.
Perfect. Thank you, Tom.